Alright, so if you're new to trading, I'll do a little bit of explaining. Mostly I'm going to be showing how I analyze the market in order to spot my trends for a trade. So let's get started with just a nice blank screen. I'm on Pocket Options, the broker of my choice. We're going to go here. There's currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, stocks. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm in New Jersey on the East Coast. So there is the, what is it? It's one of the sessions from 3 to 4. It's at Tokyo. So the payouts are a little higher. So let's take American Express, for example. We're going to go to our drawings, FIBONACCI fan. You can keep it green. I like to change it to black. I try to color coordinate because it keeps me from getting drawn confused. Save. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is explain what this fan is and what these numbers, these boxes, these squares, these levels. We're going to be looking to spot 1 minute trades on a 5-second time frame on the OTC market, which is the over-the-counter market. I want to get more into the in-depth trade analysis. If you're new to trading, shoot me a message. So what I'm doing, I'm looking for when the chart pops up, I'm looking for low points, high points. This is the most recent low that's still happening. So let's go to the previous high. We're going to start there with our fan pointing down. So zoom in. You're going to identify the highest part of the candle on your short-term screen here on a 5-second time frame. You're going to plot as accurately as you can. Right there. And you're going to zoom out. You're going to find this dot here, which connects the 1. So we plotted the 0 just now. We're going to try to connect the 1. Now, there might be a right way and a wrong way to plot these fans. However, the only way that I can really describe how to plot these fans is try to plot what makes sense. For example, if we're plotting from the top to the bottom, these bottom lines are going to be strong support. So you could always draw this first line here like a resistance line, like the candles are coming down and pushing off it, because that's what all these future lines are. So we'll treat this like it was a past resistance, and then we started to break up. So when we cross this line, we start to break up. Let's try something like that. Cross this line, broke up. Came back down to this line. Candle started moving downward, bouncing off here. So now this is the new resistance. We have to break this resistance. Now it's support, but we're still moving downward. We know that we're still in a downtrend because we have a high here, a low here. lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, a lower high, way lower low, lower high, actually, yeah, lower high, then we have a higher low. And when it came up, the low here was higher than the previous low here. So now we know that the trend is changing. And now when we break support, when we break the resistance lines, we're bouncing off them quickly and we're in an uptrend. If you notice, our price action arrow is on the double up. So we're going to throw on a moving average here, and we're going to use the moving average of 18. 18 of these candlesticks gets averaged out on this price line. And what does that mean? Well, 18 candlesticks on a 5-second time frame is about 1.5 minutes, which is the highest expiration time on the 1 minute time frame, meaning that you can get in a trade anywhere from 1.5 minutes to 30 seconds if you time it precisely. We're not trying to time it precisely based on the expiration. We're just going to take our trade based off of the way the chart's moving. EMA provides us with the longest expiration time, which is 18 candles, 1.5 minutes. So right now, our price action is kind of indecisive. We're being stuck in this zone right now. Let's see what the 2 minute looks like. It's all pretty indecisive right now. It's not giving us any price action over here. Usually you'd see one arrow, a weight, strong signal. Yeah. So when you see this EMA, when the candles are below the EMA moving downward, you're in a very short-term trend. We got a bounce, but we didn't bounce off this EMA to keep moving upward. So we broke back down. Strong bounce, little break. And now you can notice the trend moving upward. We're bouncing off, getting slight retracements. So we did get some rejection here. I want to wait and see what kind of rejection we're going to get, if we get one at all. We broke once, didn't bounce off the EMA. So in this upcoming trade, I want to see the candles bounce up and bust above the EMA. Now there was a sort of trend line that was broken, down moving this way. We did get a bounce up, and now we are going to get ready for a nice call opportunity once we see a bounce off this EMA line. We're moving downward, slowly moving downward. We want to try to get a good entry here. We might have missed it. This might have been it. It's taken off pretty hard. Now, this is where we might see some resistance in order to bounce off this EMA here. But I got a feeling we're going to push right through this resistance. There's a nice bounce. Alright. Let's wait for the bounce off the EMA. Here we go, and we're moving on. I want to see this market keep moving upward. Now in this trade, as long as we're above this green line for 1 minute, we win the trade. I bet $10 on my account means I'll get $9.20. And see how he took off beautifully. Look at that. Look at that pinpoint. From down here up here. We won that trade. Okay. Let's go ahead. Find another. Bank of America. Okay. Now this, let me tell you why I'm not doing anything with this. This is a higher time frame trend. This is really, really, really trending upward. However, you know what? Nope. We're not going to touch Bank of America right now. Let's go to Apple. This I like. This is a more short-term movement. We're looking at the same type of trade coming up here. Let's go ahead and move this. And this is my strategy, people, is we're just using these fib levels and our understanding of the market movement for OTC stocks. Let's go ahead and pop this. Remember, learn to draw what makes sense. Come here. Let's see. This makes the most sense to me. That double arrow's down. Okay, I saw some nice rejection here. Let's wait for a bounce off our EMA because we are getting strong rejection off an uptrend. Let's wait for a bounce off this EMA. Let's wait for it to maybe even reach below it. Or above it, excuse me. Excuse me. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that entry. Right before the big spike. I want to see more pushes downward. And look at that. 2 wins, no losses. What was my first trade on? Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at all these. American Express. Let's get rid of that. Let me make sure I have the high payouts on. So right now I'm only to the 92% payout, which is the highest, which is an incredibly good payout. Alright, I like this already. We're looking at the same thing. Now, this may seem simple, however, there is more to the strategy as to when I know to wait for the bounce of the EMAs. Takes a little bit of practice, but really understanding how the market moves just takes practice. You can always start with a free demo account. And once you're profitable in your demos, you switch over. Or just hop on live sessions with me. I like the way, yep, this is looking nice here. So, we are moving downward pretty heavily. See how these fans automatically line up very, very nice? You can see we're getting stuck here and here. However, we're going in. Look at that. Look at that. It's a third one. 9, 18, 27, $27.60. Pro is done. Let's go to all trade. Like the way this looks. It's really just whatever's getting shown to me at the time that I'm looking at the chart. As soon as it pops up, if I see something or I gotta scroll a little bit back, it's fine with me. I'm gonna take this nice low here. And what are we going to do? We're going to draw what makes sense. Need to capture the highs and the lows. Okay, let's do this. That makes great sense. Technically, that does too. I like that. That's good for me. Now we got double arrows up, which means where can we expect there to be rejection? When this EMA tries to cross here, boom, right there we got some nice rejection. Now, I base a lot of my trades off of where this EMA is. Sorry, I keep calling it an EMA. I think it's an SMA, sorry. Simple moving average. Alright. More retracements. Moving up. Right at the 70 or the 30 level. Testing again. Getting some rejection when the EMA is trying to cross here. Alright, so here's the entry. We need to break this EMA here. Until we're above this EMA, SMA. Until we're above the SMA and bouncing off of it while it's moving upward. See, we need it to be curving. So it's starting the curve. I want to see candles come above it while it's rejecting off this support. Perfect. And we're moving upward. There's our rejection there. Let's wait. We're gonna get the right entry. Let's be patient. We want these lines to convert. We want the candle to converge. This line moving upward and then get the rejection. That's going to give us a safe entry. And we could retrace all the way up to one of these levels here. Because this is where the broken came down heavy. This might be the retracement too. Either way. Let's wait for a nice bounce off our EMA. And we're breaking the trend. We want to break as we're bouncing. There we go, we got a bounce. Bounce and a break. Alright, so what can we learn from that? The entry, this was really the bounce that we wanted. Not only did we bounce off of our resistance, our support here broke and then busted this. So we really missed the entry and tried to apply our seam rules when the entry opportunity passed. So there is still an opportunity. This same scenario, a bounce and a bust, might be another good opportunity. Bounced it, busted. Let's try to hit the same scenario again. And that's the push-up that we wanted. So, when you're in this downtrend, you're going to see a bounce and a break. When the EMA is close to your bounce. See, we bounced off the EMA, bounced off the SMA, and broke the resistance line. We did win that trade, and just in the nick of time. So, the rules work when you apply them correctly. Three and one. Oh, that just looks beautiful. I don't even really need it. A fan to show that. That's a beautifully broken trend line right there. See, this is more of a free trading style. So let me see if I can draw this before I lose the trade. See the trend line? Here's another great technique here. We're in a downtrend. The trend line was broken. Your best entry point is going to be down here. Wait for that beautiful push down. Nope, that's it. That was all I needed to say. This thing's getting ready to bust through here. On that one too. This would have been good. Now all I did was spot the downtrend. When that downtrend line gets broken and then bounced off of, the second it came even close to that, I should have gotten in. That would have pulled me out somewhere down here when it closed. And there's that future trend line again. Now we're going to get bounced off that trend line. Alright, I won that trade. I'm done with that. I'm just going to go through all these stocks until I make it win on all of them. Technically, the one I took a loss on, I should go for one more. Took a loss on all trades, so really I need 2 wins. Let's go in again for FUTRE. Double up arrows. We're going to come down somewhere around here, I think. Broke it a little bit, breaking it more. You can see the change in the market is curving up, losing its momentum, coming down. Same thing here. We have this uptrend, but this downtrend is broken around here. The support, kind of a funky looking support line, but it's generally curving this way. Now that's a bounce off of support and a bounce off the EMA. Let's wait and see. Double arrows up. We have a trend line forming now. Let's test it. Downward moving trend line. So it's like angular resistance. Okay, that's somewhat accurate. So what we might see is sideways movement up and down, and then we might hit something that looks like a double bottom. And if we get bounce off of this trend line, we'll go in for a buy. So we are crossing into the trend line now with the EMA. That's a nice push down. It's a nice push upward, I mean. Nice rejection there. That means support is strong. We haven't broken it yet. There we go. That's a break of the trend line. We might want to try to get in on this as soon as we can. Let's wait for a bounce off the trend line, or a close bounce. So last time we drew it perfectly, it actually lined up. So in order to predict the bounce, all we need to do is see a double bottom where the break happened. How about that? It's not the trend line that matters. It's when the break happened. You created this horizontal line here. Look at where the double bottom is. Really, that even could be considered a nice bounce. Just the fact that that wick came down, closed up. Yeah, any candle would have cleared that. So we missed that trade on FUTRE. That would have been a great opportunity though. Now what if instead of the wicks, we just used the candle closes instead? Which would basically be the most center points. Look at that. Beautiful. Rejection, close, rejection, closed higher. We had a little double bottom that came out. right there. That's what we want to see. Cross of the trend line, double bottom, or double top. Now let's check this out. We'll go to the close. Let's find the closes that make sense. Let's see if we have a put or another call opportunity. Let's try and get it for something even shorter. Now look at that, we got nice double down arrows. Let's even, you know what, before we even try, look, let's see if we even get crossed up here. Getting some rejection. Look at that. So, why am I not taking a trade up here? Because I haven't gotten any confirmations. The reason we have a strategy and rules is so that we can be patient with the market, because right now I feel like the market's going to come down, but I have no confirmation of that. You never make your trades based off how you feel things are going to happen, because automatically when I see double downs, ooh, I feel the market's going to come down. You got to wait for confirmation. Everything in the world is telling you the market is still going up. You have a trend line here. You got fib fans moving upward. You got this huge upward movement of the EMA. Right now, this is a nice base of a trend line. We might even be able to move it more, but I'm not going to. Look, we got an arrow moving up. Aren't you glad we didn't take a sell? Now, boom. Look at that. And we are moving down. Let's wait. This candle broke. Let's wait for a double bottom. But, oh, beautiful. Look at that. I got in right at the close of where this candle broke 20 seconds later. Look at that, we just applied our same strategy. Jeez, so, man, look at that. Did we snipe that or what? Look at that beautiful entry. Screw the price action. I know a good trade when I see one. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we got double arrows up. So technically I got my 2 trades. So I'm positive on every stock right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more stocks left. I forget what my percentage up is, but it's pretty good. Okay. Anything interesting here? Big double bottom. I like the way that's looking. Let's get our fan on. We're doing the same thing. There is a technique to doing this. So, start with a demo account. Draw what makes sense. Now, notice how well this chart lines up with the EMA. Look how this first line here almost matches up perfect. Like, that is nice. Let's try that out. I like the way that looks. We got something big coming up here. This is a big movement. Big trend line getting broken. Watch this. You know what we did? We hit a correction zone. So, another thing about this line here, alright, so we need to take 2 wins on this. Here's what we learned. This was our correction zone. We definitely rushed into this, and I can tell you why. In a downward trend like this, why would we go for a put just because our EMA crossed? We were so interested in what our price action was saying. That's what we went for instead of analyzing the chart. So a couple lessons we took today. Don't rush. Never use price action first, because then you will feel like something's going to happen, and you don't want that. You want to think something's going to happen. If your price action matches, great. If it doesn't, don't go off it. Because what we saw here, we should have known that it's consolidating instead of having these big moves. See this consolidation? This is what we want to follow. Let's wait for the broken trend line. God, even here would have been a great opportunity to get in. Retraced and bounced there, got in here, it would have cleared up here. Now what do we notice? We're getting topped out around here. We get a double bottom. Nope, we're moving up. We're not topped out. However, we are testing this support. We've already tested it twice, meaning it came down, touched, and bounced. The more you test the support, the weaker it gets. So you threw a ball up to the ceiling. It bounced. It had a little bit of momentum. Bounced a little bit more. And now it's going to bounce shorter. It might even break and bounce a little less and then come back down. That's what I'm analyzing is going to happen. So look, threw the ball, came up, boom, bounced a little higher, bounced a little higher, bounce is getting weaker, it's going to lose its momentum. But this trend line is drawn for us. This is the great thing about trend lines. That's what these fib fans are. So what we want to see is a break. And the first sign of rejection we see, I want to get in as soon as we get the confirmation. See how the momentum's getting weaker up here? Look at that, we're starting to drop. Are we going to get more rejection? Do we have enough momentum? But we're getting, like, it's going to try to break up Apparently it does. So what does that mean? 3 times we've tested it. Now, are we going to see this type of huge bounce? No. Our bounces off here are getting smaller. And let's get ready to get in. And that's what we want to see. Whew. So I tripled up and recouped that loss. I'm profitable there. So I took a $20 loss. Ooh. And actually made 25. What I made? $3 or $4. Whatever, we're profitable on it. That's what matters. Alright. This isn't just, this is work just like anything else. And if you don't work, it's not going to work. You're not going to make money. You have to work at it. See, I didn't feel like that market was going to come down. All my confirmations were telling me were. Nothing is 100%. So I waited for a better entry. This gives you a percentage of getting that best entry. It gives you a better percentage of getting that entry, sorry. Or draw what makes sense. You'll see based off how I draw, how you're going to want to draw. This is looking nice. Okay, we busted through. Where did we get support before? Big trend line getting broken. I'm actually just noticing it coming downward this way. Target's going to be somewhere. Yeah, that was about it. Let's wait for a bounce. Boom. Now we're already above our correction zone. We're breaking through a weaker resistance. So this momentum should just take off. That's not a good signal. Bouncing off of here right before. We might have enough momentum to get up. That's okay. Remember, all our confirmations are telling us it's going to go up. We just need to find the best entry. You got this. Let's see. This candle that broke. We didn't get the double bottom, that's what it was. Alright. Let's remember our rules. It's actually happening right as we speak. Oh man, if I could draw this quick enough. Door candle closes. So we're going to be looking at a double U somewhere around here. Double top maybe, perhaps. Candle that broke, actually, I mean. Kind of hard to tell. That's a pretty huge candle break. Do we see a double top? We hit it? Oh, we basically did. Now, I don't see, it's hard not to let your price action try to guide you into a trade. And I think that's sometimes why I don't always use it. Because I like to believe I'm better than the price action. And that's not a bad way to think. Because at least you have a strategy. Instead of going off of a feeling. Alright, I like this movement. This bounce. However, let's see. Here's something else I noticed. This looks like an overall short-term trend line that we're looking like we're about to break, and we're getting bounced off. Okay, we broke. Now we're coming up on, we broke our trend line. There we go. That's a nice push down. Let's get in on that. Oh man, I would have doubled up around here. I should have. Man, is that the bounce that we needed or what? Okay, that I like. I can bring her in.